Page 878. Nine. Page 88. Page 881. Page 882. Page 883. Page 884. Page 885. 886. 887. Page 888. 889. 890. Page 891. Page 892. Page 893. Page 894. 895. Page 890. Page 897. Page 899. Page 900. 901. 902. 903. 904. 905. 906. 907. 908. 909. 910. 911. 912. 913. 914. 915. 916. 917. 918. 919. 920. 921. 922. 923. 924. 925. 926. 26. 927. 928. 929. 30. 931. 932. 933. 934. 935. 936. 937. 938. 939. 940. 942. 942, 943, 944, 945, 946, 947, nominee yesterday, but we're waiting for the final security clearance, and it came in the night yesterday. That was after we closed, so we'll quickly take the nominee. But since you have a motion, not much debate. Somebody will just second it, then we go into your prayers.
It's noted,
So
sir.
just quickly.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Distinguished colleagues. The Senate notes that in line with global regulatory standards and international following collaborative consultations with regulatory stakeholders, announced the phased ban on the importation, manufacture, and distribution of alcoholic beverages packaged in sachet formats. Further notes that in 2018, stakeholders, including the Federal Ministry of Health, the TPC, NAFDAC, industry bodies, namely the Association of Food, Beverage, and Tobacco Employers, voluntarily signed a 5-year memorandum of understanding committed to the gradual phase-out of the production and sale of these high-strength alcoholic beverages in this packaging format, due to growing public health concerns over their affordability, portability, easy accessibility, and increasing use among children, adolescents, commercials, and other vulnerable groups. Aware that the federal government, upon appeal from industry players, granted an additional 1-year moratorium in 2024 to enable manufacturers to exhaust existing stock, adjust production lines, and explore compliant packaging alternatives until December 2025. Notwithstanding the clear provisions of this MOU are the subsequent directives issued by NAFDAC prohibiting the practice. As the deadline of December 2025 approaches, some by extension, thereby undermining regulatory authority, jeopardizing public health, and potentially encourage prolonged proliferation and circulation of these products in harmful safe packaging formats in our communities. Further concerned that certain manufacturers who complied in good faith now suffer competitive disadvantages against those who continue to produce and distribute non-compliant formats, creating a distorted market environment and disincentivizing responsible industry behavior. Excessive youth exposure to cheap, high alcohol content products packaged in sachet format contributes to addiction, impaired cognitive development, increased school dropout rates, road accidents, domestic violence, and other social vices. Worried that pushing this moratorium further will impede the full enforcement of the extant powers and responsibilities of NAFDAC as the statutory empowered regulator in Section 5 and Section 31 of its enabling statute, and also undermine ideals of a fitting national alcohol policy, thereby weakening Nigeria's standing as a responsible member of the global community committed to the World Health Organization recommendations on alcohol harm reduction. Mindful of the provisions of Section 17(3)(f) of the 1999 Constitution, which mandates that children, young persons, and the aged are protected against exploitation and moral and material neglect, thereby obligating the government to proactively curb harmful products easily accessed by minors. The stop that continues in the enforcement of the prohibition will further saturate the market with high-strength alcoholic product package format. Accordingly, the Senate resolves to mandate and direct NAFDAC and relevant regulatory agencies not to grant further extension to the moratorium scheduled to lapse in 2025, and to immediately ensure strict enforcement of the ban and prohibition of packaging high-strength alcohol in sachet format in all parts of the Federal Republic of Nigeria from December 2025 without delay. 2, mandate the Ministry of Health to ensure that there are no impediments to the ability of NAFDAC to enforce the prohibition of the packaging of alcoholic products in sachet format in any part of Nigeria. 3, call on the Federal Ministry of Health to expedite the conclusion and public release of the National Alcohol Policy that contains a clear and unequivocal prohibition of the packaging of high-strength alcoholic products in sachet format, and to support NAFDAC in providing a holistic direction for enforcement and public sensitization. 4, direct the National Orientation Agency to intensify nationwide sensitization campaigns on the dangers of high alcohol content beverages among youth and school-age children, and to discourage the packaging and consumption of the drugs in sachet format. Your Excellency, distinguished colleagues, I so move.
Professor, distinguished Senator Anthony.
Thank you, President.
Sorry, Senator, we have a point of order.
Mr. President, 151, raised by my colleague. When you mention on that, we are supposed to take food. The is urgent. This motion is not urgent. We never took the vote. So when you are bringing motion under that order, sir, is to know the rule, so that you don't just bring any motion to delay us. The motion you brought is not urgent.
Noted, noted. Thank you for encouraging him. Yes, Senator.
Yeah, thank you once again, Mr. President. I am Senator Professor Tony. I represent Ebonyi South. I rise to second the motion on the urgent national or the need to hold further extension of the phase out of alcoholic beverages packaged in such formats. Mr. Chairman, I want to reiterate this paragraph that says the Senate recognizes excessive youth exposure to cheap, high alcohol content products packaged in sachets contributes to addiction, impaired cognitive development, and we add affective and psychomotor development, increased school dropout rates, road accidents, domestic violence, and other vices. I so say called, Mr. President.
Thank you. Let me distinguish colleagues, just before we go into the prayers, as earlier agreed, I need to thank distinguished Senator Asubo Ekwenyo. Senator Karimi says that the motion is not urgent. Any motion that can lead to safety of lives, for me, is urgent. Because if we don't stop this extension, more people will continue to be harmed. The very harmful practice, putting alcoholic beverages in sachets, is very easy for people to lick it as if they are licking sweets and all that. And then from there, a lot of people may have accidents. Some may be taking in poisonous and damaging items. So I thank you. And from what he said, they have continued to extend and extend the tenure of the phase out of these alcoholic beverages in sachets, and they are about to extend again. So that's what makes it even urgent, that before they do further extension, let's also go, how many extensions have they had?
From my understanding, they've extended, it was supposed to, the deadline was 2023 and then was extended to 2024. The current deadline is now 2025, which is 1st of December. We have few weeks from the end of this month. So if we don't take it as urgent, within the next 2 weeks or so, they may announce a further extension or moratorium. So that's why it was urgent.
So that's why it is urgent. Because by the time the current extension expires in December, right? They want to extend again. So we are trying to urge NAFDAC to stop further extension. So I think it's urgent enough. So we go into the prayers. Mandates and direct NAFDAC and relevant regulatory agencies not to grant any further extension to the moratorium scheduled to lapse in December 2025, and to immediately ensure strict enforcement of the ban and prohibition of packaging high-strength alcohol in sachet formats in all parts of the Federation of Nigeria from December 2025. Those in support of prayer one say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer two, mandate the Federal Ministry of Health to ensure that there are no impediments to the ability of NAFDAC to enforce the prohibition of the packaging of alcoholic products in sachet formats in any part of our country. Those in support of prayer two say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer three, call on the Federal Ministry of Health to expedite the conclusion and public release of the National Alcoholic Policy, particularly those that are contained, which are very clear and unequivocal in respect of the prohibition of the packaging of high-strength alcoholic products in sachet formats, and then support NAFDAC in providing a holistic direction for enforcement and public sensitization. Those in support of prayer three say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer four, direct the National Orientation Agency to intensify nationwide sensitization campaigns on the dangers of high alcohol content beverages among youths and school-aged children in sachets, and to discourage the packaging and consumption of these products in sachet forms across the country. Those in support of prayer 4 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. I thank you for bringing this to the fore, particularly because of the danger involved in this, and the fact that it's very easy for young school children to be moving around with sachets in their hands, and you don't know that what they are sucking is high. You think they are sucking Fanta. You don't know they are sucking high alcoholic beverages and all that. So thank you for bringing this to the fore, and I do hope that now that the Senate has spoken, that NAFDAC and the relevant agencies will see the need to stop further extension of dates to stop this harmful practice. So we are saying that by December 2025, the practice should end, and there should not be further extension. The Senate of the Republic of Nigeria has spoken. Thank you. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. Senate President, distinguished colleague, I will want to raise the motion on reordering of our business of the day. And my motion is that the first order of the day will be brought forward and be treated as our number one business of the day. I so move.
Minority Leader.
Mr. President and the two colleagues, I like to call the motion by Senate Leader that we should reorder our program to allow them at 3 to come to number 1 as a second.
It seems those in support of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. So we have reordered our order paper for the day to enable us to take the item on Mr. President's request to clear the ministerial nominee. Senate Leader.
Mr. President, the first order of the day and the first business of the day is the screening and confirmation of Dr. Kingsley Tochukwu, SAN, for appointment as Minister of the Government of Federal Republic of Nigeria in accordance with Section 1472 of the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. Mr. President, distinguished senators, in order to carry out this exercise in conformity with Standing Order 12, privileges, we move two motions. First, I move that the Senate do resolve into Committee of Whole to consider the confirmation hearing. To move.
Minority Leader.
Mr. President, very the two colleagues, I like to call the motion by Senate Leader that still resolve to Committee of Whole to consider the confirmation of the nominee as a second.
It seems to the motion have been moved and seconded that we suspend our floor privileges and to allow strangers to approach the hallowed chambers. Those in support of the prayers move and seconded say aye. Just again say nay. The ayes have it. So, Sergeant at Arms.
Mr. President, my second motion, I move that the Senate do admit special advisor to the President of National Assembly matters.
No, come again. The first was for us to suspend our floor privilege. The second will be for us to admit the stranger.
Yes.
So which one are you moving? Join the two then. Join the first and second so that we properly rule.
Sir. Secondly, sir, I move that the Senate do admit special advisor to the President of National Assembly matters, Senate, the nominee, and other government officials into the Senate chamber. Support.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, that is one of the two motions by Senate Leader that will suspend our rules to allow strangers to approach the plenary confirmation of the nominee as a second.
Suspended floor privileges, and now you have moved that we allow strangers to approach the chambers. Those in support of the Sergeant at Arms can now move in the strangers into the hallowed chambers of the Senate. whilst awaiting the strangers, it's my privilege and honor to announce that the Federal University of Science and Technology, ECPE, Establishment Bill 2025, has been assented to by Mr. President. And further to our letter, forwarding the authenticated copies of the bill to Mr. President, 2 copies have been conveyed back to us. And so Federal University of Science and Technology establishment has come to stay. Congratulations to the group employer and the group people of Lagos State. And thank you, Mr. President, for opening the doors of education nationwide. Distinguished colleagues, let you to welcome Dr. Kingsley Tochukwu Ode, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, and the nominee of Mr. President for the office of Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Senate had to bend backwards to accommodate you. At the time we did not, yesterday we could have taken you, but we did not have the requisite clearance. So we were able to get, you had done your fingerprinting with the police, and they are giving you clearance that you have no criminal record. So we now had to wait for the Directorate of State Security to complete their work, and their report came in late yesterday. So we said, let us do you the favor of bending backwards to accommodate you so you can go and fill the position and start offering services to the nation. I know that outside this country it's not easy to pay Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Or the Queen's Counsel, they pay thousands of pounds per hour. So we didn't want you to wait for too long before going to your new office so that you will not charge the Senate. So please, you can, I also welcome your dear wife, I'm sure. Did you bring your wife? Okay, so that was not heard. So, but at least I congratulate your family for this elevation in advance if you are cleared by the Senate. So please, you may step forward and answer a few questions from distinguished colleagues. So the nominee, just give us a brief resume of yourself, and then thereafter you take a few questions from our colleagues. You're welcome.
Your Excellency, the President of the Senate and Chairman of the National Assembly, Senate Senator Joshua Obot Agbadio, Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Senate, Senate Senator Ibrahim Green, Principal Officers of the Address, Senate Senators, the Special Advisor to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Senator Bashir. Excellency, first let me thank the Senate very profusely for the that before this Senate, bringing back those accommodates my screening today. That I do not take for granted. Not just my family, but any state of Nigeria, and also the government. I know also that the President of the Republic of Nigeria delighted that Thank you very much. My name is Dr. Kingsley, the SAN. I came from Enugu State of Nigeria. My hometown is Osala, in the west of Nigeria. My profession, education, researcher, public finance, and expert. And I'm also, Your Excellency, I am married to Mrs. Tinagolo Tochi, who incidentally not here because this was very sudden, because National Football, I was to be in court today representing the State of Nigeria after the Federal Commissioner for Justice in the State. I before I was called to answer another national football. And the importance of that is not my wife. So I have 3 children. I attended College of Immaculate Conception, CIC, Enugu. First, before that, my primary school education was Army Children School, after my secondary school education, as a student, I graduated from the University of Nigeria, Faculty of Law. After that, I proceeded to National Youth Service, where I was posted to Adamawa State. I served in Ongolo government, Secretariat, as the head leader because Dongo requested that I be posted there to set up a domain. After that, I proceeded to do my Master of Laws at the University of Nottingham, United Kingdom, specializing in public international law. Then after that, I also earned a Doctor of Laws from Stellenbosch University, South Africa. The Chairman, Your Excellency, the President of the Senate, distinguished senators, have other academic attainment, but for the want of time, I'll skip that and go to my employment records. I founded TKOD and Associates, a law and consultancy firm where I started practice from year 2007 till I was invited to serve in the government of India. I also combined that because of my love for academics, combined that with teaching. So I taught in Bayes University, Abuja, taught in Nigeria Law School, and also taught in University of Nigeria. I thought without getting paid for most of my stint in University of Nigeria because I was giving back to my Let me not forget that I didn't drop from heaven. I haven't. So let me honor my parents. So my dad still alive and my mom. Father, Honorable Justice Gibbs, retired Reverend Justice Edward. They gave me the best of country. I must recognize them today. Your Excellency, the President of the Senate, distinguished senators, I served in the government of Enugu State first as Senior Special Assistant, Development Aid Coordination and Mobilization. After which, Excellency, the Governor of Enugu State, deemed it fit to elevate me to Special Advisor on Education. And then afterwards, I was also elevated to Commissioner for Road Development. And the government of Enugu State and the people felt that I performed creditably based on my background in law and governance. The Excellency of Enugu State, Dr. Peter Simba Esquire, performing governor of Enugu State, contacted me in his wisdom to serve as the Honorable Attorney General Commissioner for Justice in Enugu State, where I've been serving from August 14, 2023 to date, until this national assignment came. That's what I am responding to. And finally, I would say that I will not forget this value that I would bring. Value started in me by years of working across Nigeria, across the globe, working with regional leaders like Governor Peter Simba, even the former governor of the state, Right Honorable Ifeanyi Uwazurike, and other leaders across Nigeria that have worked on, that have mentored me. So may please the Senate to graciously clear me for this national assignment, and I'll make you people proud. Thank you very much.
Anyway, distinguished colleagues, you heard from the nominee, very excellent resume, and a young man who believes in giving back to the society what the society has impacted in him. I join you to commend your parents for your excellent training, which has brought you this dignified recognition and elevation. For me, as your in-law from Enugu State, I can only say to God be the glory that finally Mr. President has been able to get somebody that has your stature, and from your resume, a very young man at that. So I will allow two major questions. One will be from the distinguished principal officer of the Senate from Enugu State, Senator Sitangu, in whom we are very well pleased. And the second will be from the youngest senator in the Senate. I don't know whether you are younger than him or he's younger than you. The distinguished Senator Asuku Ekpeyang. You can see this is another product of youthfulness. So while you are heading the Young Parliamentarians Forum, you will be heading the Young Ministers Forum. So the two of you are doing well. Distinguished Senator Sitangu.
Thank you, the President of Nigerian Senate. Thank you for the opportunity to speak about my brother, Dr. Kinsley Tochukwu Ude. Let me start by thanking the President of the Federal Republic, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for finding my brother and friend worthy to be nominated as a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I can actually commend the President for his patience, his eye for good quality. Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I've known Barrister Ude for 35 years. During our time in the prestigious College of the Immaculate Conception, CLC Enugu, we were in the same secondary school. So I can attest, somebody I've known for 35 years, I can attest to his competence, his credibility. He is somebody that is a workaholic, a goal-getter, and I'm sure this government, this country, will have a great joy having him as a minister. Mr. President, you can accept, everybody knows, it's a public knowledge, that Enugu State government, under Governor Peter Ndubisimba, is the fastest growing economy currently in Nigeria. Fastest growing. I didn't say the biggest economy.
The senator must confine himself to the topic.
I'm coming, Your Excellency. You will understand where I'm going.
We are not clearing Governor Pitamba. We are trying to clear Tochukwu Ude.
You will understand where I'm coming from.
No, I don't want you to come from anywhere. Concentrate on this number, but don't bring in Peter. What we call the Governor Pitamba. Otherwise, others will start.
Mr. Nominee, that is standing by us.
Ask him a question.
He's a member of Enugu State Executive Council, yes, holding a very key position.
Yes.
And by his competence, the state, he has contributed immensely. Your Excellency, the President of the Senate, Attorney General of the state, can actually contribute to how a state could go. But if there are legal impediments, of course, we will be drawn back. But this young man, by his capacity and competence, has contributed to making sure that we are on the right direction. And it is the same value that is going to add to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I have no doubt that the nominee will not just make Enugu State proud. The nominee will make Nigeria, by extension, very proud, irrespective of any portfolio he is assigned to head. Mr. President, I won't ask him a question. I am only urging the Senate to please look at his competence. Mr. President, the CV is here. Too many doctorate degrees, too many positions held, performed perfectly, Just by it, our people in Igbo will say, Afioma Nerongwe. By what you see here, you can also already see, and even by his presentation, you know that the nominee will make you proud, and make the president proud, and make Nigeria proud. I so submit.
Please, no more eulogies. I would like questions because the minority whip. Thank you for your submission. The youngest senator of the Federal Republic.
Your Excellency, thank you very much. My name is Asuko Ekwenyong, Senator representing Cross River South, which is my primary constituency. And of course, my secondary constituency is the youth demographic. Mr. President, it's going to be hard for me to start off with a question without, first of all, eulogizing the nominee before us. This is a young man, and I have perused his CV, and I am indeed proud that he nominated for this position. He has spent about 8 years or 10 years before working at the subnational level in governance, helping in the development of the state, and at the age of 43 was appointed to the most, I think, sensitive portfolio in the cabinet, which is Attorney General, which is, we like to call it the first among equals in the commissioner ranking. He's done exemplarily well. He has a great record, a very fantastic track record. But I have seen that your focus has been in the legal arena. You have done and risen to the peak of your career being a senior advocate of Nigeria at a relatively young age. I want to ask you this, having a background that is deeply rooted in the legal aspect, how do you see yourself contributing to the cabinet of Mr. President, and what portfolio you think you would be best suited for? Thank you very much.
Senator, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Senator Abdul Ningi, and I represent Bauchi Central of Bauchi State. Mr. President, let me join you in welcoming Dr. Ude to this hallowed chamber. Yesterday, the minority whip was busy going about lobbying and telling us about his very good character. And today, from his CV, and especially what he said during his days as a NYC member in Adamawa, gladdens my heart, because he said he was in Tongo, a local government I know, and Minos, and the legal business that he set up, gladdens my heart that this is a person that is truly a Nigerian. My question is, Dr. Ude, the main issue in Nigeria today is the issue between Nigeria and the United States of America. That is the main current issue. Because of your versatility, if I ask you, what in your opinion is the way forward? Thank you.
Before you delve into commenting on Trump, on the President Trump, before you delve into commenting on President Trump, according to the question by Senator Nengi, because you are, of course, there's no question that you cannot answer. Senator Ojusakalo, add your question after that, Senator Alero. There's no question he cannot answer.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Ojekalo. I represent Abia North. My own is not questioned. My own is to commend the young man, because he has done very well. Senators should be proud for Nigerians like this. This man at 43 is the Attorney General of Enugu State. We need not to be asking him questions, because from his CV,
What is here? What is here? Allow me to speak my opinion. That is your problem. What is here? There's no order. I'm in the right direction. Please allow me to speak my opinion. I'm confining myself. What is here? I'm speaking volume about this gentleman standing here. He is currently the Attorney General of Enugu State. That is the #1 commissioner in Enugu State. And we cannot joke with him. He's senior advocate of Nigeria and a member of Inner Bar. He's a member of Inner. When we see people, and this gentleman has come to the floor of the Senate to appreciate his father and mother. How many nominees have appreciated their father and mother? This is the first since I started being in this Senate. So I urge my colleagues to ask this gentleman to take a bow and go. Mr. President is waiting. Thank you, Mr. President.
Honestly, distinguished Senator Orju Sakalo is not somebody who talks anyhow. A very serious-minded legislator. And what you have just done almost brought tears to my eyes. Any child that can appreciate the mother, appreciate the father, is a child that will appreciate Nigeria. So I believe you were in order. So I rule you in of order. Say that little.
President, my distinguished colleague is very competent. Mr. President is separated so that is see back as 2014. Now, if I say Office of Attorney General, it includes. I want to know Bureau and officers should declare their size. Mr. President will swear you in, and I want to know whether you have declared your asset. If you have not, it is very important you do that. That's my advice. Thank you, Mr. President.
I think the floor is yours. You can start from the Code of Conduct, which is a mandatory requirement. And then you go to answer the very valuable question of Attorney General of the Federation and Attorney General of the Federal Government of Nigeria. Because the same glamour also goes to the office of Accountant General of the Federation and Accountant General for the Federal Government of Nigeria. People believe that the two should be separated. So that's I think those are very germane questions. The only one I would like you to dodge for now is commenting on Trump. Go on.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the President of the Senate. Thank you, distinguished Senator Alero, for drawing my attention to asset declaration requirement. Most of my congressmen have always declared my assets and with the Constitution, and also undertaking that for this current national assignment. So thank you, sir. So on the issue of separation of offices, you know, there are even arguments members presented about areas that they are seeking constitutional review on. One of the areas was actually the separation of the office of the Attorney General from the office of the Minister, from the office of the Commissioner for Justice. Now, there are various arguments regarding pro and against all. And all the arguments are certainly very reasonable. For the separation, we say that the consular responsible Attorney General is put to our house. And so some members of the public, the influence on the Attorney General in the cases, therefore, that it should be separated from the political arm of that office, which is the Minister of Justice and Commissioner of Justice. So, but I'll always say that it's better people experience the reality of the office to be better grounded in their argument and reason. I've been Commissioner of Justice and Attorney General for over 2 years. My dad served as Solicitor of the State for several years before he went to the bench. So I know the workings of this office very well. Whether it is separated or fused, it depends on the personality of the individual. Of course, even if it's an Attorney General that is not political, even if it's within the civil service, and the person does not have character, they will see the influence. Will the person not be appointed by an individual? And they will still, the person that appoints will still have influence. So there's no institution of humanity that will not be subject to human laws and frailties. So whether we choose to have them as one or separate them, they will still be subject to what every human being is subject to, the weaknesses of humans and the background and personalities of the occupiers of the office. But one thing I can say, there are served in the office of the Attorney General Commissioner for Justice for integrity, care of God, predictably and performing, knowing that justice is a matter that is divine. In handling it, one must fear God, and one must remember that if justice is carried and affect deeper than the particular case that is before that particular office. So, Mr. President of the Senate, Senator Abdul Dengue had made comments about the relationship of Nigeria. Excellency, His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, already responded very well to that pointing of ambassadors and pushing for them to be mobilized immediately, because truly it's more of a matter of diplomacy and law. Finally, distinguished Senator Asupo. Yes, the President of the Senate, sir, we have the privilege of having leader of the Assembly, Chairman of the National Assembly, like so say much. To understand that law is quite very broad, very broad. So, if you're a good lawyer, you should be able to fit in to any job description well, because there's law of every walk of life. But beyond that, beyond my strong background in law, I have very strong background in research and academics, very strong background in governance, many years of governance experience. As a public servant, I've held various offices, but beyond that, as a development expert, having worked with various international organizations and supporting government of the state, there's no state of the federation that I've not worked for. No. And worked in either as a consultant for UNICEF or UNDP or DFID and various other international organizations, spanning different walks of life. So it's not just been law practice and litigation. By the grace of God, my experience, my career and profession, I've spanned across various facets of life, and this is what I would leverage to bring value to the renewed hope of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If the Senate approves, that I serve in that capacity. Thank you.
Senator Abaribe, point of order.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Abaribe, and I represent Abia South, Order 58-1. A senator may, rising in his place, claim to move that the question be now put. I so move.
The distinguished colleagues, Senator Baribe was very frugal in reading that order. Let me read the real order for you. It says, after a question has been proposed, a senator rising in his place may claim to move that the question be now put, and unless it shall appear to the chair that such motion is an abuse of the rules of the Senate, or an infringement of the rights of the minority. The motion that the question be now put shall be put forward and decided without amendment or debate, notwithstanding that the mover had no opportunity to make his reply. Well, if it is not an infringement on the rights of the minorities, okay, Senator Olare.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Very distinguished colleagues. My name is Kaborudin Olalero Yewumi. I represent Osun West Territorial District of Osun State. Mr. President, I stand to second the motion moved by the...
It is a motion.
It's a motion.
It's a motion.
Moved by Senator Abaribe. That the question should be put by the President. I so second.
Well, the point of order raised by distinguished Senator Abaribe is hereby sustained. And then no, we don't need a question. We don't need a question. Yeah, even from the majority. And we are talking, okay. Well, is it the view of the Senate that there is no minority infringement? Is it the view of the Senate that the nominee, being so versatile and being able to dodge the Trump question, be now allowed to take a bow? Those in support say aye, and those against say nay. The ayes have been. The nominee can now take a bow.
Foremost, Mr. President. And two, President, I think I stopped by.
That the sanctity of this.
We here restore the sanctity of the Senate by expelling all strangers that accompany the nominee. Have it. Distinguished colleagues, would the Senate approve Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Dr. Kingsley Tochukwu Ude, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, as the Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is hereby approved. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, I stand to move a motion that the chair do revert back to plenary in order to report progress. I so move.
Minority Leader.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I second the motion moved by Senate Leader that the Senate refer back to plenary for chair to report progress. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, the motion has been moved and seconded that this hallowed chamber refers to plenary for the chair to report progress. Those in support of the motion as moved and seconded say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, the Senate in the Committee of the Whole considered the request of Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief, for the confirmation of Dr. Kingsley Tochukwu Ude, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, for appointment as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The nominee answered questions from distinguished senators on a number of topical issues. The committee approved the nomination of Dr. Kingsley Tochukwu Ude, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, as the Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Is this a true reflection of what transpired at the Committee of the Whole? Distinguished colleagues, will the Senate confirm Dr. Kingsley Tochukwu Ude as the Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Dr. Kingsley Tochukwu Ude, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Let me thank Mr. President for the nomination of Dr. Kingsley Tochukwu Ude, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. He appears to be a fit and proper person, highly educated and very cerebral, to work as a Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He has answered questions creditably, and then he has acquitted himself as a well-bred Nigerian child, acknowledging his parents and their contributions to his upbringing, and at the same time showing excellence in various stations of life. I wish him luck in his new endeavor as the Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and I hope he will bring his wealth of experience to add to the Federal Cabinet, to add value to the Federal Cabinet to ensure that Nigeria gets out of the current doldrum and then realize the hope, the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President. Congratulations to all my colleagues for their patience, for your questions, and in some cases, your eulogies for the young man. Congratulations. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, I stand to move a motion that we do adjourn for 15 minutes to enable us pass the votes and proceeding of today. I so move.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I have a second the motion as moved by Senate Leader. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, the Senate Leader has moved a motion that this Senate stands adjourned to the 6th day of November 2025 to resume at 1:15 p.m. of the 6th of November 2025. Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The Senate is hereby adjourned for 15 minutes to enable us go through the votes of proceedings of the day.
as ABN TV, where the world is on your screen. Bring you news like you've never seen. From headlines to highlights, we are your guide, ABN TV. Let's take you for a ride. Your stories, your world, your channel. This is ABN TV, where the world is on your screen, bringing you news like you've never seen. From headlines to highlights, we are your guide, ABN TV. Let's take you for a ride. Your stories, your world, your channel. This is ABN TV. Where the world is on your bringing you news like you've seen. From headlines, highlights, we are your guide, ABN TV. Let's take you for a ride. Your stories, your world, your channel. This is ABN TV, where the world is on your screen, bringing you news like you've never seen. From headlines to highlights, we are your guide, ABN TV. Let's take you for a ride. Your stories, your world, your channel. This is ABN TV, where the world